it's Norman Kochnick here on Wednesday, the 22nd of February, 2023, with my now regular Australian newspapers reaction and update. I have the three papers here that you're getting to know well. I'll show you them now. We have the Daily Telegraph, the Australian, and the Sydney Morning Herald. You can see the three papers there. The Daily Telegraph, the Australian, and the Sydney Morning Herald. Those three papers are providing news in Australia. Well, obviously Sydney, but the Age, the Melbourne Age, and obviously Adelaide Advertiser, they're very similar magazines, newspapers, I should say, in the other states, but they all come from the same brush. Okay, let's start with the Australian. The Australian of today, we have an article there, again, about cricket. Cricket still talks here, but Warner's exit forces rethink for top order. So again, that's Warner's exit forces rethink to top order. So it's really the exodus from India continues with obviously Dave Warner's left, Josh Hazlewood's gone, Pat Cummins is temporarily away. It seems to me that Australia are very much in disarray. Travis Head was opening. Again, that's by no means their permanent position. They're considering Cameron Bancroft. They're considering even Renshaw. It's going to be quite a mixed bag with who they will actually pick. But they're actually, Warner's career is of interest to me because it may well be on its last legs. We also see an article there from Peter Lawler, and that actually says, to be a fly on the wall as bats fly. Now, there was a recent show that depicted, it was actually a documentary called The Test, and it depicted the whole thing about the Test series and how the ill-tempered rants of Steve Smith, well, they'd be quite pronounced now, and there's a real concern around the Australian camp as to what's going on. So that's what Peter Lawler wrote about there, and he went on about it further on in the newspaper in some more depth in regards to the whole thing, and it seems to me that it's become a real talking point as to the whole mood of the Australian team and disarray and the frustrations they're going through in India, which is where the mental processes really take place. Will take its toll. The Daily Telegraph, they have a picture there about a so-called open wound, where Matty Hayden goes into bat for wobbly Warner. He says his Test career isn't over and be warned replacement would be next to impossible task. So the fact is, it is possible to replace Warner quickly, but they're going to have to consider it very quickly because his days are somewhat numbered, even though he's not over. Perhaps that's certainly the case. Now, the Sydney Morning Herald, which has a lot of learned writers there, in fact, Andrew will have a lot of time for talks there about Warner's career is on the brink as he flies home. So he's a bit more to the point, I think, about what's actually truly happening there. We'll look at that there. Warner is in fact on the brink of his career ending, and yeah, you'd have to think his career is on the brink. The Veterans Openers campaign has been cut short by the hairline fracture in his elbow. He suffered in the second test on Friday and will fly home with his family today. He is expected to be available for the one-day international series against India after the tests. Very strange. In fact, Hazlewood's meant to be getting his act together in the IPL, which is not really meant to be getting your act together. It's meant to be playing tests in one-day cricket, if you ask me. Okay, and in the paper here, also the Sydney Morning Herald, we do talk about, I'm not sure that you can see that there, no regrets from Cricket Australia over team's tour planning, despite debacle. Malcolm Conn writes, Cricket Australia has defended the team's preparation for the tour of India, despite batting collapse in the first two tests, which have cost Australia any chance of winning the Border Gavaskar Trophy. High-performance manager Ben Oliver also denied test players competing in the BBL little more than a week ago before the tests had compromised their tour. He's quoted as saying, "No, I don't think so," Oliver told the Herald. There's a range of factors that go into the design of the preparation for the series, and the players and the staff and the selectors all work together to design that preparation. Sounds like a lot of mumbo-jumbo to me. Going back to Warner as well, Andrew McDonald makes it clear that South Australian is horses for courses. I'm sure it's regarding Head. But considering Marcus Harris, Bancroft and Renshaw all for this test opening position. It's going to be interesting to see who they actually do pick. But yeah, the debacle has to be on the hands of Cricket Australia a little bit in the preparation. They haven't really done well. So there you go. They're the 3 papers today. Stay tuned for more. This is Norman Kochnick on Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick, or Eyes on Sports, in conjunction and collaboration with Sri Harsha, Rev Sports, a number of other Indian concerns that all work together towards bringing you the information on these test series. Stay tuned.